So my learning from today's session, Susan, is overall learning is that we do misunderstanding our own self. Especially when we look at relationships, I think we are not understanding our own emotions. And that's the reason we try to pile it up on target the other person that, oh, you are not fulfilling my needs, or I'm in a lack or somewhere, because we get too entangled in our emotions or the drama of life. We just can't witness it and let go. We just have to act on everything. We have to take one side, this is right and this is wrong, this is good and this is bad. We just can't be neutral. So I think it's more about understanding our own self, and that is a journey, that is a sadhana. That's what you said, that you have spent so many years, so much of money just to understand. And it's common for everyone. It's not that what you have understood, what I'll understood will be different. It's common. And then we talk about 7 steps of learning. You have become probably one with what you have learned. And we are in the process of becoming one with what we are learning with Manoj-ji on this platform, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for adding that, because what you're describing is you started with the spiritual visionary longing, the longing for God, the longing for peace, the longing for joy. But if you don't have the consistent action capacity, or if you lack the biochemical balance to be sufficiently functional, or if you lack the logical analytic brain that allows you to absorb learning and data,
Absolutely.
you don't reach it. So what I'm really thrilled about being here with this group is you have all of that. An incredibly loving, happy group of people who are serious, really serious about reaching the highest levels of peace and joy, and you are. It's
Beautiful.
Thank you.
One of my former clients who's a friend, Rob, called me yesterday and he said, no, but what are you doing for fun? I said, well, I just explained what I'm doing tomorrow. It's like the most thrilling thing. I'm, going to be on this wonderful course with Manoj-ji and my friend Vasudha. He said, oh. I said, no, for me, Rob, this is, my greatest joy. This is exactly heaven to me,
So beautifully expressed. Yes. Yes, Dave, would you like to say something? He's my brother from Bangalore.
Hi.
Hi,
How are
Susan.
you?
Great, doing great. Susan, just wanted to ask one small thing. You're saying you could see your past life. Would it just be a dream, or I mean, how do you substantiate it being true and a reality?
Well, of course, there's no absolute evidence. But when people I have been close to pass away in my family or my friends, they have each visited me in my dream state. I practice lucid dreaming. So I wake up in the dream, and each of these is a different experience. So my uncle comes back to me and tells me he's fine, and he's in an executive suite in heaven, just like he was in Bloomingdale's. His daughter, my cousin Peggy, dies, and she comes in my dream state, and she's in Hawaii on a vacation because she always loved vacations. So it's the same with my past lives. Each one has been totally, totally different. And yet each one has some reflection on decisions and choices I've made in this lifetime. Is that helpful?
No. How do you substantiate? I mean, and that it is true. Like, I mean, it should just be a dream. Maybe in the night, you just dream something and wake up and
So I'd like to
How-
add, yeah, I would like to add something like this. And
Please.
Dave, this used to happen to me many a times a few years back, till the moment I dropped my logical mind and I said, it can be true. Then I started to have more of these. Then I said, it is true. When I said it is true, then it started to happen more and more. And now I don't bother about, as I speak to my master Guruji every day, so many, like Jagdish is there, he's saying, "Oh, we have been grown up together with him. I don't bother about others. I simply go along and I know it is true. It's true for me. And whether you believe or no, it doesn't. But more and more such experiences happen. Am I true, Suzanne? The more, the magical experiences.
I had a bilocation experience that I was able to substantiate. So maybe this one will be interesting. So I was in the Delhi airport many, many years ago, 1982, and a famous guru would be leaving his body that year. And so I'm walking through customs passport control, and there's nobody there. This is real. There's nobody there. But that's weird. But what's really weird is this very, 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 very famous gentleman in orange robes who I've never met in my life is coming towards me, and he's alone. And this is a person who doesn't travel alone. We're the 100 people entourage, right? But in the airport, he's alone. And he sends a ball of light into my heart, into my chest. And I feel it. And then I go on my merry way. And I think about it, but it doesn't make a big difference until I moved to Santa Barbara, 2002, I think. I meet a woman I know from that lineage. She tells me about her seva sitting outside of the house of this man in 1982 when he died, and that he never left the ashram that whole year. And she saw him every single day. He was always there. She had the seva to wait on him. And so she knew for a fact that what I saw, the person I saw, the bolt of light in my heart chakra was a bilocation. And of course, after that, she said, oh, I could call 10 people. They were all there. They will tell you. They were in the ashram in India. They saw him every day. It was bilocation. And so just like you, Manoj-ji, I just said, well, let go of disbelief,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a magical world. Let's experience and let's enjoy this magical world. One last question, Ashok, and then we thank her. Okay.
Wonderful insight of entire journey. Just want to ask about this past life only. What is the process to find out your past life? Is it a hypnotism or something else?
Say that again, the last part, Ashok.
Uh, what is the process of finding out your past life? Is
The
it
process.
just a hypnotism or something else?
Well, you certainly can learn self-hypnosis if you choose. Self-hypnosis is easy. Anybody can do it. Go on YouTube. I've done it myself. It's very, very simple.
Okay.
But you don't have to. You have a deep experience with your guru. You have a deep experience with God. You can simply ask to be shown. You can, the whole fun about life is to ask for what you want if it's important to you and stay focused on it to some degree and have it manifest. That's how I live my life. That's how I've been living my life. That's how my parents lived their lives. That's how my grandparents lived their lives. So, my parents were born here, but my father's parents were refugees from the Ukraine. My grandmother my mother's family was born here, but her husband, my grandfather, he came from the Ukraine. So these are people who had difficult lives, and they just prayed for that they wanted and asked, and it appeared. So if what you want is to see your past lives, make sure you ask every day until it appears.
This was
Wonderful.
the same process you
Ashok,
applied?
we'll take it later, dear.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Susan, one last question for everyone. How do you, you say about money, so how do you attract the $1 million which everyone wants generally?
or lakhs and lakhs of rupees?
Yeah, lakhs and lakhs of rupees.
Well, you have to use whole brain functionality. So let's talk about the founder of the Leela hotel chain. If you're familiar with Mumbai and you're familiar with the Leela Hotel, and they have various ones, right? Because that was my garment supplier in Mumbai back in the day. He got off the train after the Indian Army with 5 rupees, with a commitment to become a very, very, very rich man. He married Leela. He says all of his fortune, Mahalakshmi smiled on him, gave him Leela, and everything came from that. Her family had a logical way of producing wealth. They were in the textile industries in Kerala, where he was from. But he used his whole brain, and he was a devout guy. So devout. He wanted to immediately drive me to an ashram. The minute he met me, he wanted to take me, And so he used his whole brain. He prayed for what he wanted. Amazing people skills. I mean, amazing people skills. Incredible genius. He became one of the senior people on the textile board. He made, all sorts of rules and regs for the Indian government. And he had an incredible work ethic. And little by little, he got richer and richer and richer and richer. One day, the car that came to pick me up was a Rolls Royce. It wasn't an ambassador anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, one day we're building a hotel. I said, where? Where are you building? He said, and they have a beautiful house right near the international airport, beautiful Dutch colonial. He said, right here. Right here? He said, yeah, you don't know it, but the international airport is like just over, I said, oh, okay. It all seemed beyond me. But go online. The Leela Hotel in Mumbai is right where their house and property was. He was thinking about this, envisioning it. Now, I've been friendly with a lot of Indian billionaires, I'm fortunate to say. Ashok Birla and his wife, who, perished tragically in a plane crash, were very dear friends of mine. And Ramkrishna Bajaj and his wife, Vimla, very dear friends of mine. But that's inherited wealth, so that doesn't count. But I have many friends in America who were born poor and made millions and millions, and they have one thing in common. They loved the idea just exactly like Captain Nair of Leela. They loved the idea of envisioning wealth, dreaming of wealth, planning wealth. Every morning they would wake up, they would lie in bed, they said, and they would think of it for 30 minutes every morning. What's going to happen today that's going to bring me wealth? What's going to happen that's going to be exciting and thrilling and business and money? So I never had that mentality. I have to get into that mental state when I need money to arrive. And for most of us, it doesn't happen in that fast. So you have to start to shift your mentality, shift your vibrational state up the emotional guidance scale, set your goals by day, month, year. I receive whatever the amount is, and then come up with a strategy that's going to get that for you. And in the meantime, you always have to have a means, because it's very difficult if you're expecting it to show up in an envelope on the ground, like my client did. It happens. But, I buy lottery tickets. I don't depend on that for my food, right? So that's fun, but have a means, have a business, have a job, have a something.
Right.
So I have a lot of skills. That's my Manifesting Rapidly program.
Beautiful.
Because in Manifesting Rapidly, you have to be able to take every single person who wants your skills or your product and communicate it in a way that they understand you're there for them. And every word you speak has to be about them. The big mistake people make when they want to be very wealthy is they make it about themselves. Do we care? No. That's a key. And again, I have all these tools and skills. I have 300 videos on my YouTube channel. I've got 3, and that's all free. I've got 3 ebooks that you can download on Kindle for free. I've got 165 articles on my Substack. You're welcome to all of this. It's all, my gift. And if
So-
you want me, one-on-one, then it's a different arrangement. Let me know.
So beautiful, so beautiful. So I would just like everyone, just to know that the what, why, how chart, like Prakash ji has written, creative visualization, all these things, but you need to spend time for that. So the golden 1 hour, we call it me time, we call it Leah time, whatever it is you do, connect with Suzanne and get the best of everyone. So everyone just can now unmute and say thank you all together in your own special way to Suzanne only. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Suzanne. It
Suzanne.
was
Thank you.
very
Thank you,
wonderful.
Suzanne ji.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Suzanne ji. Thank you,
Thank
Suzanne
you
ji.
so much, Mahalakshmi. You're most welcome to
Thank you, Suzanne
Bangalore.
ji.
Thank you,
Suzanne ji.
everyone.
Thank
Oh,
you.
so
Thank you.
much.
Pure unconditional love.
Thank you, Suzanne ji.
You are
Enjoy.
great and a
Love
beautiful
you, love you, love
soul.
you.
And
We
we
all love you so much. God bless you. You're a Mahalakshmi.
love you, Lord. Mahalakshmi has come, Preeti ji.
Wonderful, Suzanne. Thank you so much. And it's been a really vibrant, energetic, super session. And we all, I'm sure, enjoyed all what you had to say and share with all of us. I'm sure many of them will connect with you. And as usual, like, marriage on the relationship part, people are little hesitant to declare in front of people. So they'll connect with you one-to-one. And we appreciate that. We respect that
And
also.
it's all confidential.
Yeah.
Everything that everyone tells me, I keep to myself. It's all secret, except, Arno is willing to go on a video. That's different. But for everybody else, it's all secret.
Absolutely. So, all right. So thank you so much. And I'll ask Preeti, you can just, we end always these sessions, synergy session with some meditation, something. So she'll just play some affirmations, meditations, and that's how we will end it.